I know him. He's from Pisa like me. Here, madness grows like mold on the walls. For 10 years, we've been shut in here, and Pisa has forgotten us. War has humiliated her, and yet she's still too proud to sign a peace treaty. Maybe I'm mad already, and I don't know it.
That doesn't worry me. My mother's been telling me I'm mad since I was born. And out of practice. And up, and up. Oh, come in, gentlemen, and watch. And 1, 2, 3, up.
Your mother was right.
I missed on purpose to make you laugh.
We have a more numerous and authoritative audience for you today, Messer Rustichello. Messer Andrea, Messer Paolo, Messer Lorenzo. Noble citizens of Genoa. Learned on the subject of law as well as theology.
Law and theology, that's too much for me. I'm only a writer.
We too write books. We know the phases of our work, not unlike the seasons. Winter for study, spring for seeding, summer for the harvesting,
and autumn for the fall.
We had reached the point in your story where Niccolo Polo and his brother Matteo, after their visit to the Doge of Venice, had judged it expedient to delay no further their return to the court of the mighty Kublai Khan.
They proceeded to man their ship, to hire servants to escort them on their journey back to far Cathay. Men who must share their adventurous spirit and their ability to endure many hardships. Marco succeeded in convincing his father and uncle that his friend Giulio was worthy of their trust and ready to go with them all the way to the end of the world.
Your name is Agostino?
It is, my lord.
Yeah, well, you have the look of a sailor.
You can ask the first captain you meet about me. I was born on a ship.
We need people who can travel by land, too.
I have no problem. I am from Padua, always halfway between land and sea. My brother's a sailor. At home, I have no one left. Ah, I was forgetting. My name is Jacopo.
Yes. Yes, well, settle things with these two, will you, Matteo? I'm not in need of any other help for the moment. Thank you.
So you two. You like the idea of the trip, eh? Oh, good. Remember, hard work. My brother's a strict man, so there'll be no shirking. He expects everyone to pull his weight.
Father? You really leaving now?
As soon as possible.
Where for?
To St. John of Acre to meet the papal legate, then on to Persia and the East.
Why didn't you tell me?
It's only just been decided.
You're not waiting till they choose a new pope.
No. We must leave at once. We gave the Khan our word.
Well, you're going back for what you left in China. Well, that's what you're worried about, isn't it?
What's wrong with that? It's a fortune, boy. One day you'll see.
But I'm going with you.
No, you're not. It's out of the question.
Why? Father, why?
Because you haven't got the experience, the skills.
But I could learn.
It isn't a holiday. It needs a special kind of discipline, a discipline which you don't have.
But, well, after all this time, you can't just leave me behind. You can't.
Look, I'm not prepared to discuss it. Matteo, tell him.
Your father's right. The journey's dangerous. And to be honest, you could cause a lot of trouble.
I'd do whatever you told me to.
Your father knows what's best for you. Venice is the fairest of cities. Be happy to stay here and learn a good, safe trade. You're a Venetian.
But a Venetian's born to travel. You said it yourself, Father.
When did I say that?
In the only letter you ever wrote to my mother. When I was a child, she read it to me over and over again. It was all I ever knew about you.
Well, I may have said something of the kind.
Don't you see? All my life I wanted to be with you. I wondered where you were, what you were doing. But I always knew you'd come back to me. Don't leave me behind now. I beg you.
Niccolo! Niccolo! Home quickly. There's a man who's looking for Marco's father. He says he won't leave till he sees you. Come home.
There he is, the rat.
Not one more step.
Let's leave them alone.
So, you are Messer Polo. Well, you needn't think you can save him.
From what?
From me. I'm her father. Caterina's father.
What is all this about?
Tried to run away with her. Spent the night with her. He has dishonored her.
Is this true, Marco?
He can't deny it. She tried to protect him. I beat her to a pulp until she gave us his name. I'll have him up before the courts and the church.
That would only cause a scandal. I'm sure we can settle it.
There is only one way. He can marry her.
If she wants
Be
to...
quiet.
If they marry, how big a dowry will she bring in?
Dowry? What dowry?
Well, a girl doesn't come to her husband empty-handed.
That's not the way of it. Donna Fiammetta and I had plans for our daughter. We've been keeping her safe as a jewel till we could arrange a good marriage. But now, he has ruined her. And we want compensation.
I see. It's just a question of how much. We'll need a day or two to think about it.
Don't try to put me off. I'll go to the Senate if I have to.
That won't be necessary.
We all want to avoid trouble and gossip. I'm sure. Here.
It's not enough.
It's only to show that we're willing to talk. And now, if you'll excuse me, I want to speak to my son.
If it was me, I'd have his guts on a plate. I give you 3 days. Then I'll be back.
You infernal, impossible young idiot!
It wasn't the way he made it sound.
It never is.
Katerina and I
don't want to hear about it. It's unthinkable that my son should marry into that family.
You can't judge her without knowing her. You can't allow that beast to threaten her like that.
Beast's daughter!
If you say another word, you'll have me believe you're as big a fool as your father does.
There's no other way.
The journey to Acre will take 4 to 5 weeks. Then we have our business there. He'll be home in about 6 months, by which time all this will have blown over.
You see? You're coming with us.
But you're only coming as far as Acre, you understand? Not one step further. Now go and pack.
We shall be here shortly after.
I have to leave soon. Please, just one more message. Will you give it to her?
There's not been a winter as cold as this for years.
Not since the Crusaders left.
So, you found your boat? A real boat? You're leaving Venice?
Venice. But not you. You're coming with me.
What does your father think about that?
I can hide you on board. You could wear men's clothes. I'm not leaving you.
You've left me already. Or maybe it's me who's drawing away from you.
What?
You go too fast. You were born to travel the world. That's what it means to be a true Venetian.
Right.
You say. But I'm different.
No.
That day, we sailed off in the boat. I was trembling. But not from fear. It was leaving Venice that hurt.
You?
You think I'm like you, Marco, but I'm not.
We planned everything together. We had the same dreams.
I said things, but inside me I did not believe them. You really see the things you dream about. The far countries, the people. When you talk to me, for a moment, I seem to see them too. I must go to Mass, Marco. One day.
Tomorrow. That's our day. Come with me.
No, Marco. I would be a burden to you. Oh, God, what am I thinking of? I'm not even sure what I feel for you.
I know what you feel for me. You feel the same thing I feel for you.
Feelings are not everything. My mother has other plans for me. She wants me to marry a man with some position in life. A man with his feet on the ground. A rich man who will know how to take care of me.
Wait for me, then. I won't be gone that long. My father's only taking me as far as the Holy Land. Then he'll ship me back home. We'll see each other again soon.
You won't leave him. You'll try and follow him until your shoes crack and your feet bleed. If he really sent you home to Venice, it would break your heart, Marco.